Hello, here is Wolf. This time I want to talk about a distinctive feature or trademark of Shotokan Karate, namely in the way it was propagated by the Japan Karate Association. I will talk about Kime. And there was quite a bit of a discussion about what the right Kime would be in this nice magazine, Shotokan Karate magazine, and the editor, John Cheatham, actually once asked Kanazawa Hirokazu directly where the notion comes from. And Kanazawa answered without blinking an eye, it was the invention of Nakayama. He meant Nakayama Masatoshi, who was for a long time the chief instructor of the Japan Karate Association. Now, if you have a look at the publications of Nakayama sensei, I have here an old version in Japanese of the book that was later translated as Dynamic Karate. And in there, he speaks about Kime not as a noun, but as a verb in the combination waza o kimeru. Yeah? 瞬間的に一定の目標で爆発させる power ですね。And this would or was translated later in the English version as the remember that an effective technique in karate is produced by a concentrated blast of power at the moment of impact. Now the thing is, this turns up in the Japanese and the English version with a photo of the young Kanazawa with his well-defined body, even here with a chart of all the muscles that are involved. Yeah, here we have the same page when he talks about concentration of power, and again it is Kanazawa who is in here with his nice chiseled body when he was young, and this can visually lead to the misunderstanding that what is meant with Kime is involvement of muscles. Now, the concept and the word Kime as such was introduced to the English-speaking world with this book by Nishiyama Hidetaka sensei and the art of empty hand fighting. And he says about Kime, which he calls focus. Briefly, focus in karate refers to the concentration of all the energy of the body in an instant on a specific target. So this definition is absolutely in line with Nakayama's. And Nishiyama actually, there are phrases like, the greater the number of muscles brought into play in performing a given movement, the greater the concentration of strength. Or maximum concentration of body strength depends on effective utilization of the resultant of forces produced by exertion of the various muscles, and so on and so forth. So it's about muscles, it's about tensions, it's about physical power. And I would contend that in the first decades when karate was practiced in Europe and I guess so in the USA as well, that it was really misunderstood as something only physical. Yeah. And I trained in the 1970s, 80s, 90s with Japanese instructors, and we were exhorted in the training with more Kime, more Kime. It was the battle cry and the mantra of the time. And the problem was that people, in order, they wanted to demonstrate how powerful their techniques are. So the thing was that the Kime was held too long. So it was a stiffening up, it was very rigid. Yeah, it has improved very much over time. But what was forgotten was the instant relaxation after tensing your muscles, which was actually recommended by Nishiyama and Nakayama. And Nowadays, Kime is not as accentuated as it was. However, it is still a hallmark of how JKA defines its karate. There is a very nice book by Kusahara Katsuhide, who is the chairman of the JKA. It's called Budo Bunka Toshite no Karate, karate as Budo culture. And in there he says that the JKA karate is more or less defined by Ippon Shobu, and Ippon, he almost equates it with having a good kime, and he also recurs to the old slogan of Ichi Geki. He quotes it as Ichi Geki Hissatsu, one attack, one definite and sure death or kill. And this actually is also quoted in a different sense by Naka Tatsuya sensei, and he recurs to the saying in the 20 precepts of Funakoshi, think of your hands and feet as swords. He quotes Nakayama sensei and says Nakayama sensei talked about karate as being sword fighting with bare hands, yeah. And Kusahara actually quotes Nakayama in the sense that he said he didn't like the notion of sun dome, stopping the techniques shortly before impact, because that would mean that you would in a car simultaneously step on the acceleration pedal and the brakes. So he liked to talk about the maximum power that explodes on target, and this kime still is a very important concept in JKA. They attach a lot of importance on that in the connection or context of Ippon Shobu, and that's exactly the connection that Naka Tatsuya extensively makes, and he gives us the definition of an Ippon or a point of the JKA, and you can find that in the homepage of the JKA. And the criteria are proper execution and power of the technique, proper distance and timing, correct posture, and proper frame of mind. And here, in the Japanese original, they use the notion zanshin, the lingering alertness after the technique. Then, concentrated mind and spirit, and indeed there is in the Japanese version ki-haku, a very spiritual term used for this, and the execution on a proper target. So this means that kime still is an important point in JKA karate, and because they do this Ippon Shobu, they insist that we do real Budo karate in the old way of karate, of Japanese martial arts, and therefore it is a defining element of Shotokan karate. And there's one little line that I liked in Naka Sensei's book, where he says that kime, or this concentration in Ippon, comes about through the unison of heart, mind, ki, energy and power in Japanese, shin, ki, ryoku no ichi. So we see that this is a holistic concept. It's never only about the physical part of it. And I actually have a nice definition of kime from this book. And it's called Takara Karate wa Tsuoi. That's why karate is strong. The author Nakayama Takatsugu, who is a master of Chito Ryu and a physio and speed and slowness of techniques, waza no kankyu, in the performance of kata, and he uses this same term kankyu and says actually that Kime means to go from kan to kyu to kan again. So it would be kan, kyu, kan. And kan, the character you use for writing it, means loose or relaxed. Yeah? Kyu is swift, rapid, and kan again loose. So he says in the instant of Kime, you tighten up your body, but afterwards you immediately relax again. So the whole body goes from soft, hardened to soft again. And he actually uses the term uneri, yeah, which is the swelling of a wave, yeah, or undulation, yeah. And he has an illustration of this concept in his book that I hope you can see it here. Yeah, so there is a spiraling wave or vibration going through the whole body, starting from the heel, going through the hips, through the torso, into the body of the opponent, and then instant relaxation again. So it is a snapping move. It's like a coil spring that you squeeze and boom, goes back again in its relaxed status immediately. And he also says the bigger the amplitude between relaxation and tautness, the bigger the power that is released. And I learn a bit of Okinawan Goju-ryu in the line of Toguchi Seikichi, and in some katas there are moves where actually with this vibrational arresting of the technique, the fist snaps back slightly. It's like a backdraft of the movement. So I would say, as long as this Kime is only for an instant, it is absolutely a defining element of karate. Yeah, if you hold it too long, your arms will end up as sticks and not as whips. Yeah, and Kimeru actually can be written with two characters. The one is this, which means to decide or determine, which was used by Nakayama Masatoshi. And this character is the preferred one of Kanazawa, even Naka Sensei and Kusahara Sensei. And this has another philosophical nuance. It means to go to the end, to the extreme. It can mean apex or ultimate. It's actually the character that turns up in Tai Chi Chuan or Tai Chi Guang, which is the ultimate fist. So in this sense, I like this character better myself. So Kime means that body, mind, spirit are brought together. It's a holistic, psychosomatic concept and not a purely physical one. Yeah, and if we think of Kime in this holistic sense, I think we can say no Kime, no karate, which is a slogan you sometimes hear among karateka. Too much Kime is killing karate, and therefore I will end this exposition with a Zen-like paradoxical expression. I would say, let's exert Kime in a relaxed manner.